Right, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I did a review of this, which is the Handpresso. It's a manual espresso machine that you pump up pressure, put boiling water in and pour out an espresso coffee. And Handpresso asked me if I'd like to review this, which is the Handpresso Auto. Now this plugs into your cigarette lighter in your car, which is great. So it's 12 volt, it takes a 12 volt power source. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if you could extend the usability of this product to places other than a car or your vehicle? So I did actually have this product here, which is a solar power system that's got a 12 volt output on it. Unfortunately, this requires around about 12 amps or 140 watts of power, and this has only got 5 amps, which is nowhere near enough. So that was unfortunate. I also went out and bought this, which is a mains adapter. That was a good idea too, but again, I didn't read the small print and it's not got enough watts, so that's no good either. Now, Handpresso actually do a product on their website, and it's probably available on Amazon as well, which is a proper converter, same as this, but it's got enough wattage to juice this puppy up. Now, before I begin this review, let me just tell you this. A few days ago, I went out in my car with the purpose of doing the review, and I took along my puppy Baxter, and it was a nightmare. There wasn't enough room for a start, and he was licking it and sniffing it, and he was just a little pest. So after about 20 minutes of mucking around, I just decided quit. So I abandoned the review, but I took this out into the woods with Baxter and we had a really nice time. If you want to check out some footage in the woods with some beautiful bluebells and a nice woodland coffee with the manual Handpresso, it'll be at the end of this review. So what we're going to do is unbox it here so you can have a look at the individual components, and then a bit later on I'll take you out in the car and I'll demonstrate it with the E.S.E pods and also with fresh grinds in the basket. So happy days, let's crack on. Right guys, this is going to be a very quick unboxing section. I just wanted to do it indoors where there was a bit more space. So as you can see, the packaging that it comes in is really nice, and the case is fantastic. Good zips on there that you could put a small padlock on there if you wanted to lock it up, if you was taking it travelling with you. Now inside you've got a couple of espresso cups, a cleaning cloth, and a really decent manual that's got a well illustrated guide, and there's also an additional leaflet that explains how to use it with the E.S.E pods. Now to use the device, you basically uncoil the 12 volt cigarette lighter, plug it in, take the portafilter off. You can either measure out 50 milliliters using the espresso cup, or there's an indicator on the top as well. Now if you're using it with the E.S.E pod, you just put it in, put the top on, and away you go. But if you're using it with the ground basket, then you need to add an additional rubber sleeve and use the larger of the two portafilters. Then once you've done that and the engine's running and it's plugged in, you press the power button and it will begin building the pressure and obviously the temperature, and then there's a button on the side that starts and stops the extraction. Okay guys, so I'm out in the car. I'm going to have at least 2 espressos. Let's just get on with it, shall we? So I'm going to add the water now, and I've measured out 50 milliliters in one of the espresso glasses, but there is a gauge around this edge here that tells you how much you're putting in. And as I pour this water in, you'll just notice that the indicators have turned black. There's a couple left there, so as I pour these last few drops, you'll see they'll turn black as well, and that just lets you know that you've got the right amount of water in. Now on this particular one, I'm going to be using an E.S.E pod. Now when you use this, it does say on the side of the unit that you must fold that flap down
otherwise it might leak a little bit. So I've just folded that over, and then you just got to make sure that those lines line up, and that means it's all ready to go. When the engine's on, you can see that cigarette lighter illuminates. Okay guys, so the engine's running, and now I believe I just got to press this button. Okay, so apparently once you stop hearing the noise, it doesn't mean to say it's ready yet. You have to wait for 3 bleeps, and that indicates that it's ready to pour. There we go. That was about a couple of minutes. Alright guys, this is it. It's ready to pour. You see that? Now for the taste test. There's a really good temperature to that as well. It's, you know, it's almost too warm to hold my fingers on it. A lot of the times with manual espresso machines, you don't get the heat through it unless you pre-warm the vessel it's going in, but this is a good temperature. Oh, it's a really nice coffee, guys. There you go. That was the that was my first espresso, and that was with the E.S.E pods. The next one's going to be using the basket with some fresh grinds, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to give it 20 minutes or so and then fire it up again. But first impressions, fantastic. I mean, to have a system that boils the water for you, builds the pressure for you, no pumping required, I mean, that's pretty good. It's a little bit noisy, but no more noisy than the sound of the engine. It says in the manual to make sure the engine's running. You could probably make one with the battery power. I guess if you've got a poor battery, you might end up trying to start your car and it's flat. I won't take a chance. It says to have the engine running, so I will, but it's only a couple of minutes anyway. So there's the pod. This is what I'm saying about using these E.S.E pods. There's absolutely no mess in there at all. I mean, that's as fresh as it was before I put it in. Really do like those pods. To use the basket, you have to use the larger of the 2 caps. See the difference there? And what you've also got to do is drop this ring on like that. Then I'll fill that up with coffee. That will sit on the top, and then this just goes over like that. In here I've got some pre-ground coffee beans. I will say this, if it's anything like the manual Handpresso, the grind is almost identical to pre-ground, so if you was lazy you could buy pre-ground coffee and just use that, but these are freshly ground. So I'm just going to load this up. Excuse the fingers here. This isn't how you would normally tamper down coffee, but as always I'm a little bit ill prepared. You can get around about 8 or 9 grams of coffee in, depending on how much you tamper it down. Maybe 10 at a push. So there's my basket with the fresh coffee in. Oh look, there's another basket. I've got 2 because I've got the manual Handpresso, as you probably know if you've seen the review that I did of that. I just brought them both with me in case I want to have another one. Okay, so that's just going to drop on there like that. There we go, that one's ready to go. Okay guys, so I'm just going to fire up the car again. It's all ready to go. I've got the water in, got the basket in. All I've got to do, just press this button here. So that noise is obviously it building up the 16 bar of pressure. The additional minute or so is just for that to reach the optimum temperature. Guys, I'm a massive fan of the Handpresso, the manual one. I've been using it now for a couple of months and it's such a good product. I use it most days. This Handpresso Auto makes just as good as an espresso and not having to boil kettle or anything. I think it's brilliant. I really do love this product. Anyway guys, I hope you found the unboxing and the demonstration useful. There'll be a full review on the website on Gadget Viper and there'll be links in the description below to that review. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment if you've got any questions about the product. If you haven't already, please subscribe and I'll see you guys on the next one. Got a little treat for Baxter, that'll keep him happy. Here you go, boy. Okay, that's for you. She says, I don't want it, Daddy, till I get out of the car. That's water. Oh, don't tell me you've dropped it, Baxter. Oh, man. I'm not going to be able to reach that. Sorry, man. Puppy, don't lick it. See, it says stop. Puppy, move your snout out the way. Please don't lick it. Look at this shot with the puppy's nose in the way. Oh, this is a nightmare. No, puppy. Oh, God. Right, guys. What I'm going to do is abort this because I feel bad for Baxter and it's not professional to have a puppy snout all over the product you're trying to review. So let's abort this one, go and have some fun in the woods, have a Handpresso, come back, drop the dog off and then I'll do the review on my own. It makes more sense. No, sit, sit. Stay, stay, stay. Good boy, good puppy. So this is the point we have to go off-road to find the bluebell fields. I came here about a week and a half ago and the bluebells were just coming up. So hopefully now they'll be in full bloom. Puppy, puppy, come on. Okay guys, let's try and make a nice Handpresso in the woods. Okay, so here's all my ingredients. I've got some water, obviously. I've got my cook set. I've got a Hario ceramic mill. So what I actually did before I left is I ground some coffee and I pre-tempered the basket and I've stuck it in the Handpresso. And I also pumped it up to pressure, so we'll see how much pressure. That was about an hour ago. So we'll see if it loses pressure over time or if it's just good to go. So let's have a look and see. Okay, look at that. Still right where I pumped it to. There's the fresh coffee, nicely tempered down, ready to go. So all I need to do is boil some water, pour it into this level here, drop the top on, do it up, turn it over, wait a moment, press the button, out comes my espresso. Happy days. The good thing about drinking espresso in the woods is you don't need to boil much water, so it don't take that long. I've actually got plenty of water, so what I'm going to do is prep the Handpresso so that it's nice and warm. I just tied him up. I had to because I didn't want him walking across this. Baxter, please. Nobody wants to hear you whinging. Okay, so here's my coffee ready to go. Drop that in. Screw the lid on and spin it around. Okay, puppy, I'll let you off. Alright? There, you're free. Go on. Cheers, guys. I mean, is there a better place to enjoy a coffee? Guys, I'll show you how easy it is to clean this out after you've used it. I was going to be lazy and do it at home, but I may as well show you because I've got a splash of water left in here. So, take that off. There's your fresh coffee in the basket. Just give this a little splash. I mean, this is pretty clean already, to be honest, but you can just put a splash in there, give it a rinse out, stick that back on. Whack it back in. Then you should be able to tap this out. There you go. See, it comes out like a regular puck, and then you can just give this a rinse with the hot water. And obviously that puck is just going to go back into the soil.